Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting Minecraft tutorial. I am Tyken, and today I'll be showing you how to make a sink with hot and cold running water. Although it's actually water and lava, but you know, play pretend it's Minecraft. Anyway, first of all, you want to have your sink location. First of all, I'm going to build a cute little mock-up sink here for you. And then we'll get building. Let's see, it should be just about tall enough. And one more taller. Then we branch it across, 4 high. Then we'll get some stairs. Well, let's see. Here, here, and now we get some stairs. There we go. Now we have our little sink area. Now what we're going to do is we're going to build the base of the sink, which is essentially the faucet. You have two things you can do for this. First of all, however, to determine which side you want hot and cold, you can either, well, you're going to be putting your buttons there. You can either use, there we go, red and blue wool, which feels kind of off depending on your texture pack. Or if you use mine specifically, you can use netherrack. Well, actually, that's going to be the cold side. You can use netherrack and lapis ore, which is pretty much the same texture as the smooth stone, just red and blue respectively. So let's see, let's go ahead and get 2 buttons, because you're going to need that. Shouldn't need too many materials for this demonstration. Okay, and then we have this little area right here, which doesn't really matter. We're just going to make it look pretty, just so you can get a general idea of what your sink is going to look like. Okay, from here it's basically just wall. So everything you do behind this is, of course, hidden behind your wall. Generally, you're going to need a lot of room to do this and some way to hide it. So if you build your base inside of a mountain, you shouldn't have too many problems. But anyway, first let's go ahead and get started with the cool side, since it's honestly the easiest to set up. Also, if you're doing it in a kitchen, you're going to probably have counters, so you can have counter space that you can also hide stuff behind. Although, if you're just putting it in a random wall and you don't want to use counter space, you can just move it back 1 and it shouldn't really be any real issue. But let's go ahead and get this started. Or, actually, that needs to be there. Okay, first we wire this, but go ahead and get rid of this. And if you're wondering how I have all these items on the side right here, it's a mod called Too Many Items, and it's great for doing things like tutorials. So let's see, let's go ahead and get this started. To make this, we're going to need to wire it next to the button. And here's the button, here's the wire. We're going to put 2 pieces of wire on top. Actually, that may not work with that there, so I probably am going to have to move it over, simply because I don't want to have the redstone short out or anything. So let's go ahead and move this over and out 1. Like I said, moving it out isn't too much difficult, it just requires a little bit more redstone. Then we're going to have to put redstone torch on either side, and don't worry about that pointing like that, it honestly shouldn't matter. Now let's go ahead and get a shovel so we can dig out all this dirt. And if you're wondering where this big flat world came from, it's my test world, essentially. I'll be linking that in the description as well, so you know, you guys can have fun on my test world. It has all the materials in that bunker over there that you could possibly need. I just used too many items because it's more convenient. Anyway, you're going to want to have a piston under each torch, regular piston, not sticky, although I don't think it honestly matters. Then you're going to want to have 1 block in between. It can be, honestly, any block. It really does not matter at all. Next, we're going to dig this out. You're going to want to put the torch under the nearest side, and then you're going to put redstone there, and it should kind of come out like that. And essentially, whenever you activate this, let's see if we can get a good demonstration. We'll grab another button. I can put it on this side. When you activate it, it causes the pistons to shift, like this one pushes that way, that one pushes this way. It continues back and forth, and it just kind of plays tug-of-war with the block. And what this does is it cuts the redstone current off from the rest of it, effectively turning it on and off like a switch. Although you can skip the need for switch by just using a flip-flop by just using a lever. However, I think you would have slightly harder time with the hot and cold switches, simply because the way it works, it needs to flash, and that's exactly what a button does. So let's go ahead and have this. Of course, you're going to want to have the same material matching the inside as the out. You're only going to need to have this 3 deep, I believe. So you can just make a little tunnel like this, and all should be well. Okay, I believe you're going to need to put a sticky piston. Let's see. Oh yeah, and of course the back. This is where your water is going to go, so we're going to need to put a piston under here to control it. Sometimes you have to get a little tricky with the pistons. And then we can go ahead and put it on this side too for the lava. For the lava once we get to it. Okay, that's working nicely. Now we just simply... Wait a minute. Yeah, these actually have to be down one. My mistake. No one's perfect after all. Okay, now we just put the sticky piston here with a stone piece on top, so that way when it's on, it's up, and then when it's off, it's down. Okay, now what we simply do is we dig this out, connect this redstone wiring to this piston, and it should work. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of cup this off, so it's like this, and here we go. Now we place, well, first, let's go ahead and block off where the lava is going to be because we don't want it flooding out of there. And now we place the water in here, right on top. And as you see, it should flow out. Then you hit the button, the piston should pop on and turn it off. Then you hit the button again, piston turns off and floods into the sink. Now you have your cold water. Oop, it's getting dark. I'm going to go ahead and skip so we have perfect daylight for this. So, un momento. Alright, it's daytime again, and now that we have the cold portion running, it's time to do the hot section, which is also quite simple, but it's going to require slightly more complicated measures. In fact, let's go ahead and get to that right now. First of all, since lava likes to linger for a long time, and generally doesn't go away fully by itself all the time, so we're going to have to give it a push, so to speak. So first of all, we're going to put 3 pistons under the bottom of the sink, and of course fill that in with whatever material you want to block that with to make your sink look better. In fact, you could do this all with smooth stone, doesn't matter. Next, we're going to want to put some pistons up top. Well, we're going to want to put it right here, actually. So let's see if we can get this working. Let's see, put some stone here so we can get a better angle of this. Crouch down, perhaps? No, hold on. No, that's going to make it go on its side. We're going to have to break this then, so we have a better platform, or a better angle to get at this. Because you have to do it at just the right angle or it'll face the wrong way. So you have 3 pistons right here, and of course, oops. And of course you can just replace this afterwards with no big deal. Of course you can all just, you know, do that first of all and not forget like I did. Okay, let's see. This is also going to be like the other side. You're going to have your lava here and a little bowl for it as well. And then of course make sure you cover the bottom. Perfect. And alright, we got a nice little bowl for the lava. Okay, now we need to have this pretty much come down exactly like the other one. Wait, let's see. Yeah, that one just came out like that. We should be good. Then come out like here. And there. Okay, so redstone come out, across the top, redstone torch on either side, just like the other one. This one's going to get slightly more complex. Actually, I may need to move it out one simply because I think I'm going to need more room to work with. So let's go ahead and move this out once more. and hopefully not have any problems. If you have problems with space or getting it to work properly, you can always move it out one or move it over, because you're not always going to have tons of space to work with redstone wiring, especially when you have limited space of a house. So you want to, just do whatever's easiest for you, fit it however you want. It doesn't even have to be directly next to it. Okay, for here we're going to pretty much do the same thing with the pistons. Except this one, like I said, we're going to get a little trickier. Let's see, have this... May even need to move it out one more just so I have a little bit of extra space to work with. You know what? No, I think I can handle this. Instead, you can have this come down like here, and then just ramp up that. And then for here, you have this come down, and you want to have redstone coming here, and have a repeater. There we go. So for here, instead of putting redstone dust under one of them, we're just going to put redstone torch directly here. Let's see, we're going to have this torch. Actually, we may need to flip that around. Yeah, let's flip this around, just so we can have an easier time wiring this thing. Okay. Wait a minute. This may be slightly difficult. Actually, that may be harder to wire than I thought. Doesn't matter, though, because you can honestly put it in either direction. So we'll have it coming here, ramp up to here, have it come down here, and redstone repeater that way. Let's see. This one is going to be our on-off switch. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this to work. Actually, that may be a problem with the piston there. So I may actually have to move it out one more. Yeah, I'm going to do that just so we don't have any more problems. The wiring for the, like I said, the wiring for the lava one is much more complicated. Not so much complicated, just requires, you want to make sure you have room for everything or it's just not going to work right. So let's go ahead and move this over slightly more, and we should have no further problems whatsoever. And here? Yeah, that should be good. Actually, we can just get rid of that. Have it come down like this. This way we can actually have room to rewire it how we want. This one's going to have the redstone for this because it's going to connect to that one and you want it closer. And then this one is going to have the repeater. The piece of dirt, the repeater. Have the wiring come here. Have this piece come up. And have, of course, the dust coming this way and going to the top. Like I said, if you have problems with this at all, you can easily just move it over and it should solve all your problems. Generally, having more space to work with makes redstone easier for anyone. So let's go ahead and fix this. This wire is going to come across here and point directly at that. There we go. Now we have that, and the next one is going to be, like I said, a little trickier. We're going to need to get up here and put a row here. Get rid of this. You're going to want to have a kind of block raised right here next to these. Then you're going to have pretty much your little thing doing that, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. You're going to have a repeater right here. So that way, when it sends the current through the block, the repeater receives it and pushes it through the other repeater. I'm going to raise this up. Kind of do like a staircase. And you shouldn't have any problems. Get rid of that, 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 that. Wait, no, I needed that. There we go. Now you just bring this up here. And it connects. Everything should work properly, although I forgot to add the lava. So let's go ahead and do that now. Lava. And put the redstone here. Now what we're going to also have to do with this is we're also going to have to connect it to the pistons down below. Doing this should not be a problem whatsoever. Let's just get down here. Place repeaters directly in front of each of these. Make sure, they're all timed perfectly. I just messed that up, but I can fix that. Don't worry. Okay, now we have a redstone dust coming through here. Block that off because you don't want it connecting. And then have it come up here to meet this one. Then we simply replace that, and it should work properly. Let's see how it works. First of all, the cold water. Cold water is running fine. Let's go ahead and replace our button. Then get rid of the spare one we have for no reason. Turn off the cold water. Turn on the hot water. Piston comes down slowly but surely. The lava comes flowing right out. Wait for it to fill up because, you know, you want to fill up your entire sink. You can even use it as a, you know, incinerator. And then you turn it off, and not only does it shut off, but pistons push in, crush the lava, leaving only a little sliver, and it's completely gone. And here you go, your hot and cold running sink. And the cool thing is, it even works where the pistons only crush in after you turn it off, so you don't have to worry about them crushing in every time you turn on the lava or turn it off. Oh, and make sure not to catch yourself on fire because this sink, you know, also you may not want to do it around wood simply because of the lava issue. That's about it for this tutorial. It should be pretty simple. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next time.